We will either find a way or make one. Hannibal Barca. That is the Hannibal that fought the Romans, brought the elephants over the Alps. He was dedicated to victory. And that kind of saying that he's going to find a way or make one. Never give up kind of attitude. That's what we need to conquer these markets. Each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes. That is all we ask. I bring those quotes to you every day to keep you motivated. Greatness is achieved a little bit at a time each and every day. You can do this. Let's jump into the charts. We see the S&P 500 up just a little bit. Everything else down save Bitcoin. Let's jump into the S&P first. What do we see on SPY? Well, it was up just a little, 0.39%. We see where with this high volume that I've been talking about since the week beginning the 12th of June, that is where we had the high volume. And then after that, of course, you see where the volume slowed down and went red, and where we don't have any peaks anywhere near what we had back on this week during the 12th. We're right on this trend line. Again, you can look at the half-day chart and see these days of it going down, and over the last 3 days, again, trying to continue to move up. We're keeping an eye on it. We're just seeing if and when it drops off the deep end. We can see we're sitting right there on the 2-day trend line. The weekly trend line on the 2-day chart. Remember, we always use the weekly trend line because we're trading on the weekly. That's what we're doing our practice trades on. So we can see that we're sitting right there on it, trying hard to stay on it on the 2-day chart, pushing up above it on the half-day chart. So we haven't rolled over yet. Let's look at the NASDAQ 100. Very, very similar. You can see where the 2 days pushed through. And at the end of the day, trying to push through on that half day, also on the weekly trend line. The NASDAQ 100, the tech stocks were down a little bit for the day, 0.20%. So again, hasn't died yet. We did have this peak in volume. We're wondering and we're waiting for confirmation that things are going to roll over, or they're going to slide sideways like we saw here. And with all the money that's just being printed, like, I don't even know how you explain it. It's not even being printed. They're just decimal points on screens being changed. It is the worst kind of tax you could possibly have. That is the stealth tax, the hidden tax that the government pulls on you when they inflate the currency. And of course, what happens to real stuff? It goes up in value because it's real. So again, you pump more dollars into the system. You inflate the system like you're inflating a balloon with a lot of hot air. And of course, the balloon gets bigger. And that is what we have seen going. When's it going to stop? We don't know, but we'll be ready with inverse trades, inverse practice trades when it happens. Now, let's see what's up with 20-year bonds. Boy, they are staving off. We told you we were not excited about how flat this trade has been. What does that mean when you see things really, really flat? Well, it's telling you what? There's not a lot of energy. Stock market's about energy. When things boom off, you hope they're going to boom higher. Like here. Here boomed up. We did have a jumping in point that week. We had a nice topper that next week, just about as high after this little skittish week. And then, of course, things went down. Then when they started to take off, just starting the week off, week, you can see, what do we have here? We have a doji, means lots of indecision. Doesn't mean it's over, but you can sure see how down it was in the morning. Recovered a little bit in the afternoon, 1.80%. So again, not exciting. Pushed through the weekly trend line, the weekly trend line on the 2-day, and of course, big time on the half day. Go to gold. Gold's still moving in the right direction. 0.11%. Not much for the day, but still going down. You see where it's down much further in the morning, recovered a little in the afternoon. But we can see on this weekly trend line, 2-day chart heading right down it. Half-day chart still decently below it. Lastly, we go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin rebounding some for the day. You've seen where we've had this sideways slide going, and you really see it on the half-day chart. You can see it on the 2-day chart too, where we just are sort of staying in the same area. And on the weekly, you can see again where we topped on the week beginning the 20th of June and this week beginning the 26th of June. You just don't have it reaching a higher high. Now the candle is green and it is going up, so that's good, up for the day 1.71%. See if Bitcoin will recover. It is above the weekly trend line on the half day and the 2-day, so that's good to see. We'll keep our eye on things. I have already prepared, and members of our Patreon support can find both Charting Crypto's commodities and currencies at the website, the Patreon website. You also have an email, or you will be having it pretty soon in your box, with the Charting Crypto's commodities and currencies, along with the 3-wave trades. Those are liquid ETFs and stocks that we have on our list that we track every week. We've given you a bit of a curated list there for you to look at, good things for you to potentially practice trade, to put in your quiver. And we also will be sending out the weekly vertical crossovers. Remember, Patreon members, everything that we have for you, we upload at the Patreon page, as well as sending them out to you in an email. But if you suspect you've missed something, check the Patreon site. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.